adjust my camera just a little bit. All right. We are using the Night Divine stamp set. This is our final week featuring this stamp set. In December, we will be featuring the other stamp set from the Oh Holy Night suite, and it is called Stars at Night, I believe. I always forget. I want to call it a Starry Night. That's not it. I think it's Stars at Night. So we will be using these. We are using a sheet of Misty Moonlight, 8.5 by 11, cut in half vertically to make it 4.25 by 11. Then folded in half, it's 4.25 by 5.5. That aside, we have a piece of the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper, which I believe is all sold out now. It is 4 by 5.25. That will be for the front of our card. And then we have another piece of the Oh Holy Night Designer Series paper, cut 4 by 10.5 and folded in half at 5.25. This is what we're going to make our pop-up element with for the inside of the card. And then I also have already cut out my barn and the nativity dies, a piece of 4 by 3.5-inch very vanilla for the inside, and a scrap piece of very vanilla for the sentiment for the outside of the card. And as I'm saying this, I'm realizing I didn't bring my hexagon punch in here. So we will just see what I have to make a sentiment with. I'm going to go ahead and get started making decorating the front of this card with this Designer Series paper on the front. And then I'm going to stamp with Misty Moonlight ink. We're going to do Glory to God in the Highest. I'm going to stamp it about in center because I'm not sure at this point what shape we'll be using. Very good. Use my chamois to get that cleaned up. And then while we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and try to stamp a sentiment, the one that says, "And he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." We're going to stamp that on what's going to be the inside. That's our only stamping today. Close up my ink pad so I don't accidentally drop anything in it. And let me think about what kind of shape I want up there. Let's see what dies I have with me even. have circles, 5 corners. I do have my autumn leaves dies, but I do love the label dies that go with that, that are in that set. So let's see if one of them would fit. That's not quite fitting. So let's use away. I'm thinking we're going to go with countryside. And we're going to do kind of a fancy die cutting technique. Well, I think it's fancy. You probably think it's routine, but we are only cutting a portion of this, and then we're going to move it and cut the other edge. That's how you can get much more use out of all of your dies. And I could have done the same thing with my autumn label dies, but they will, it'll be great with the countryside one. So I'll have to, you can see what I'm doing. I am lining this up and going to tape it down. And then when you put the top plate on, you are only covering a portion of your die, because what is not covered will not cut all the way. So what I want, we will send it through. Looking at it, deciding it's not lined up the way I like it. And make it less likely to tear. And then I am lining it up a little more centered. Okay, and now I'm going to send it through. Okay. And then carefully move the die and line up the other edge where we would want. So I'm trying to make it align right with where it already has been. And then send it through the same way. side and very gently peel this at an angle. And there is our sentiment leaf. So, figure out where I'm going to put this. Pretty sure up here. I'm going to add with dimensions. Right up there. And now we're going to work on our cover. Okay. Now we are going to want approximately 2 centimeters. Actually, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay my stable on here about where I would want it to be and make a tiny pencil mark at where I need to make the cuts. Trying to find my pencil. I line this up with pencil marks right at the cutting space, and I go up approximately 2 centimeters. I know you can't see what I'm doing. See if I can do it backwards. And then line this up along where it's going to cut. Go up to approximately 2 centimeters or half an inch, whatever you have on your, what measurement you have on your measuring guide there. Mine are in metric, so that's why we're using centimeters. And now I am going to open this and I will be scoring right along both edges. So then on the other side, same. Okay. Now we have created our step. And we're going to want to take this light colored paper is what we're going to want to see on our card. So this is the part that's going to be done. What we're going to want to do is Mountain Valley Volcans. But we want these little dudes, these skinny little pieces. Oh, it's the wrong way. I folded it the wrong direction. This is what you want it to look like. With the part that you're going to have glued down, like this, with these little tabs just hanging out there. And then when you pop it open, you have a step. Now, we're going to glue the rest of our elements to this before we glue this to the inside of our card. First, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the berry vanilla that we stamped on. I put it toward the bottom. And then we are going to add some glue to the posts of our stable. Now, when you cut out the die for the stable, you will need to measure with your card closed and see how much of the bottom of the post you will need to cut off so that your card will still close and you won't be able to see the stable peeking out. I'm going to do that right now. I already cut some off, but I'm going to make sure still going to work. Okay, so there's our stable, and then I'm going to add glue to the back of our nativity, and we are going to glue them inside the stable. And I'm just putting glue toward the bottom of the nativity piece because it is only, I only want it glued down on the step in between the stable. So that when it pops up, that is how you will pop up. Now, hopefully, add some glue to this, and then we're going to glue it into our card base. I'm going to put some glue on these little tabs and glue down. A bit like a sundress or overalls with little straps. To put the tabs right at the close it and hold it for a second. Before I reopen it to add glue on this side. Then you have the finished card. And you open it up and pop the um, Nativity in the stable is a pop-up piece. Thinking I'm going to add a couple of embellishments. Maybe some iridescent rings going with here. I take your pick tool, squeeze up, you want to put a couple more on the front here. Not up, but I did. Stick one right there, and another one right down. There we have glory to God in the highest. And there is our nativity with, and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. I hope you enjoyed today's pop-up card, and I will see you back here next Thursday when we will start working on the Stars at Night featured stamp set for December.